Hello and welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 603, recording live on April 30th, 2025. I am one of your hosts, Dustin.
I am out of town, Tony.
And I'm Kyle.
So that happened.
Yep. Yep, it did.
Um,
It was a long night.
it was a long night. I got a little drunk, just a little bit, but
A lot of friends of the show at the show. Ian jumped on.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun to see Ian at the end, have a little chat with him.
That was a nice surprise.
Yeah, I gotta hang out with that guy more. Yeah, so honestly, I think I can say it for everybody. Everybody's a little bit burnt out from, we just had a show 2 days ago, and then obviously, like yesterday, all of us licking our wounds collectively. So this may not be the most exciting broadcast ever for any.
Oh, don't sell us short. We're always exciting or at least entertaining.
Oh, we'll be entertaining. I can't promise, the positive excitement. I had some concepts and ideas for if we had won, but since things did not go our way, there'll be a little less to talk about today. But anyway, yeah, let us start out by talking about what we did in guns this week. I'm going to be honest. I have been very, election focused for the last week, and I have done nothing in guns apart from the littlest bit of dry fire practice a couple of days ago, and that is it. What about either of you? Kyle, have you done anything with guns?
I wouldn't say with guns, but I have stuff that has to do with guns. So on Saturday, registration opened for Memorial 3 gun. It is a very highly contested match. I haven't had the pleasure of going, but yeah. So they did registration, and I haven't spammed F5 so much, like that much in a while, because I had heard that you gotta be there at registration because it sells out fast. So okay. I don't know if there's any truth to this, but I got told that it sold out in 22 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah. So I did get in, and Craig is currently on the wait list, but I think he was 30th, and I know last year they said that they went deeper than 30th on the wait list, so he's confident he's going to get in. And then we got two other guys who had come down for Superstition for their first international match, and they actually got in as well. So we're going to have a little mini Canadian get together there. And actually a listener and one of the guys who put his name in for host when you got two came on, Justin.
Oh.
He goes to that match, and he's got in, he's going, so I will meet up with him there. And also we were chatting, and we think we're gonna have him on coming up here probably summertime, because he's going over to Hungary for a shotgun match. So when he gets back, we'll get him on to tell us how shooting over the pond is.
Shotgun match in Hungary. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah,
Action
so
shotgun, like IPSC thing.
yeah, he's doing it
Cool.
as prep for Worlds next year. Because I think he's aiming for Team Canada for Worlds. So I think he's got a pretty good shot at that.
I do want to know if there's going to be more IPSC shotgun match to replace IPSC PCC matches in Canada. Was going, so to speak.
And now that environment may have changed. Back when I was trying to get it going, Taylor and I were both trying to get it going. I had conversations with IPSC Alberta, and basically they were too wrapped up with handgun stuff to worry about putting on a sanctioned shotgun match. And so basically it turned out where you just had to build matches, and I think that's what BTSA has started to do. I know Brooks had done one or two where they're IPSC matches, but they're not sanctioned, and basically trying to drive the interest there, and basically show IPSC like, hey, there are people who want to shoot. This is viable. Let's put on a sanctioned match now and actually try and fulfill stuff for a putting out an actual team. But I do know one of the things, basically the big thing that killed Nationals and why they don't do it is the OIC, the 2020 OIC, because that killed all the open shotguns.
Oh yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
fair.
Yeah,
But
Right.
now,
So that killed all the open shotguns. So now you had a whole division that you couldn't shoot or qualify for in the country, and then you got to use a gun, borrow a gun or something.
yeah. And
for
there's a
overseas.
manual of arms for that too, right? If
Yeah.
overseas everybody else can use mag-fed guns, and you've got to now learn how to quad load and pull, like that's a different
Well,
thing.
the thing is, if you're gonna go shoot open, you're not gonna quad load.
No, you're going to do something with mag-fed, right? Like that's the whole
you're
idea.
detachable mags, absolutely. Because if you do anything other than detachable mags, you're not even going to be close.
No, there's no competition there.
Right. So that basically killed open for IPSC shotgun in Canada, and that's losing an entire division. It killed it. Like that OIC killed a lot of stuff. But I mean, I still think it should go on, even though you lose an entire division. You still have manual, you still have standard. You still have, well, modified in Canada is kind of, modified, you can have your compensated choke, like you can have a compensator on there. And then you have your optic. The telescoping tubes, that I think that was 1 year, and then they're like, no, it has to fit in the box, loaded.
That makes
loaded to capacity. So that they're still doing the telescoping tubes though, which is cool.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm sure I'm gonna get corrected on that. That's just something I heard talking with the Briley guys, that it was like a 1 year thing, and then now it's like, no. But so that's that shotgun talk. But yeah, basically put on a match and just show IPSC that, hey, it's worth it. We're getting the interest. It's worth putting on these sanctioned matches. Use the rule set.
Yeah.
It's out there. Just use it, and then you can show IPSC that, like I said, I know Brooks was doing it, and I know BTSA was starting to do some shotgun matches. Actually, Chilliwack does some shotgun matches. Do they do any like IPSC stuff, or they just said screw that and they're just totally outlaw?
So everything that I've done has been outlaw, like as far as I know, because but I need to get a little bit more involved in that now, especially since like the tube bed semi-auto shotgun platform seems like it might be the only semi-auto platform we have for centerfire guns in the short order, right? Personally, I will say that the only part of that makes me happy is I've had like a little bit of an appreciation for like the manual of arms that comes with quad loading quickly and shooting a tube bed semi shotgun quickly.
I absolutely love it.
Dude, I do too. There's something that's kind of cool about it. And then everybody's got like a little bit of a different technique. Where's that shotgun, gonna live? Like all of those things. How do you like watching different people approach that problem completely differently is always fun. And for myself, like the time that I feel I am almost like the most switched on about what is going on in my gun, not just like what's going on with the field of fire, but in my gun, is when I'm running that shotgun. Because like, okay, loading this thing is going to take a minute. When there is a shotgun stage, like the plan and being aware, like, okay, like so my Versamax 7 + 1 + 1 plus the match saver.
Don't count the match saver. That's like last resort.
No.
Target
that is
left.
Well, exactly. So that is the emergency, right? So like,
yes.
like you've got, so like you're gonna have 7 in the tube, you're gonna have 1, and you can go slowed 1, so you've got 9 to run with, right? And if you know, okay, well maybe this stage there's only 8 things. Like, okay, I can give up 1 without having to execute a reload, and I can give up 2 without having to go to the belt. And so like knowing that when you're in, you're like boom, 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 shit, missed, boom, boom, boom. Missed, boom, missed. Kate, now we're going to be doing a reload. We're not even going to screw around with the quad or with the match saver. But there's been times where like, okay, like, you know, you're sitting there counting like, okay, yeah, now I'm going to be using that match saber, and okay, only the match saber. Gun goes dry, click, boom, and done. And I don't know. That is the thing that gets me the most excited and turned on. More than doing any normal mag change. I love that.
So we're already off the track.
I'm sorry.
But I'll run with it. You want to add another element to that?
Yes.
Go do an IPSC style shoot off.
Okay.
Because basically now you got to think, okay, with IPSC style, you have to have a reload between the first steel being knocked down and the last steel being knocked down.
Oh.
So
okay.
now your whole planning and everything, like, okay. And I think at Nationals, they basically did it where there was enough targets out there that you could run your gun dry, match stay for the final crossover popper. So you just don't account for any misses. And so now it's like, okay, do I shoot one, load, and then run the whole thing? Do I run the whole thing and then load and shoot the last one? Do I leave 3 at the end? The strategy in that really gets fun when you start racking your brain on, how should I attack this?
I like that. I like that. I'm gonna have to go do that, because that I like that creative problem solving, and like I said, I just like how turned on my brain is when I'm doing that. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'll get back to Memorial because it is a cool match. It's put on by Memorial 3-Gun Foundation, and it's Memorial, like, so it's very, very centered. Every stage has a military person who unfortunately has passed, and so they're being honored on each. Every match has like their set. I think there's like 10 stages, so every stage will have somebody. Hey, this is so and so. This is their story. That's
super cool.
And then like a lot of the funding, like they have a bunch of side stages and everything, and all that money goes to charity for that
awesome
stuff. So I think it's the Memorial Valor Foundation is the actual foundation. So.
And where is it at?
It is in North Carolina.
So it'll be quite a bit of drive for you then.
It'll be a bit of a drive. Yeah, I think it's something like 24-hour drive or something like that. So. And I will be driving because I have to haul gear for not just myself, but other people's and that. So flying would be pretty much out of the question.
The Slamfire Firearm Preservation Convention.
I haven't come up with a clever name for it yet, but
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. On another note, see, I told you I'd get some stuff for what I did in guns, even though I didn't do anything with guns. But so Craig, obviously, as I said, like sending stuff, and we've been getting like these little ammo pouches from Savior Equipment. And so he just ordered a bunch of Savior equipment, and I gotta say, looking at the stuff, I am becoming a bigger and bigger fan of Savior equipment.
Yep.
So he's got this little range bag, which I might actually go and buy one myself, because my range bag, and now range bag, not my toolkit or stuff that we were talking about. This is just range bag, so gun ammo, that type of stuff, pistol competition, but. And this isn't mine, this is Craig's, but I just wanted to show this range bag because, you know, it's nice size.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
And so your front pocket is kind of more like an admin pouch.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like, so instead of like, usually all your mags are there.
Yes.
Yeah, and I do know that they have certain versions of this that other people sell, but they make. That do have, I was looking at them. And then your middle compartment, this is where it gets fun because you can mix and match whatever you want because it's all Velcro in here.
Ooh, oh, that's cool.
So they got these little, we call them 4-inch pouches here. And I would call it 270-degree zip. So they open right up. And they're on Velcro. So you can mix and match whatever you want on these inside panels. And then, of course, you got your pistol sleeve in the back. So,
I like that. That's really nice.
Yeah, I've been really liking their stuff, and like we've been getting their like I said, they've been getting their little pouches. Like, so this is their large pouch. And so like that's got 22 long rifle in there. And that's what I carry to a match now. I'll have one of these with long range rifle ammo, burner rifle ammo. And actually this year we found the minis, which are really a lot smaller than this. And so that's what I'm using for pistol ammo. And then I even have a couple that I use for shotgun ammo, because you can in those big pouches you can get like 75 rounds of shotgun ammo per bag.
Oh wow, that's
a
lot.
Here. Sorry, dead air.
Yeah. It's all good.
So yeah, so there's the full size one.
Oh nice, yeah.
And then there's the mini.
Oh, that's cute.
So like I use the mini for my pistol ammo because I still get like 400 rounds in this bag.
Yeah, you've got a whole
right.
day of ammo in there.
Oh, easy for competition. Yeah, absolutely. I was using one of these and it just ended up being too much ammo to be carrying, which it works nice when Crystal's with me. But when Crystal's with me, we can still use this for a little USPSA match.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's so nice carrying ammo and stuff like this instead of just big ammo cans everywhere.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. Sometimes I lament my ammo can system.
Yeah, and then they got these 6-inch cases. Ooh. And it's the same thing as those little 4-inch, 270-degree zipper and open up. And like really sturdy too. Like not rigid, but it's stiff, so it's sturdy. And yeah, I mean, like their prices seem good and their quality seems good. So yeah, just a little side thing that I've been really liking their equipment. And I encourage people to check them out because they actually do have good bags, and I think their prices are pretty darn good.
There's so many good bags out there.
Like they make the guitar case, a fiddle case, tennis racket case for guns.
You mean the illegal cases for Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah. Until someone tests that one on another level, let's, God willing, hope that they don't.
Yeah. But all right, that's pretty much what I got for not doing much in guns this week.
So before we go to Tony, the one thing, so I am debating. It happens in 10 days, and I know I should go, but I'm also like, I don't know if I have the energy. DSSA has a match on the 10th, and I know I should go. It's a 2x4 match. So yeah. So it's a 2 out of 4 platforms kind of mix and match. So it's going to be shotgun.
Is that? Sorry, go ahead. You're about to explain what I was going to ask, I think.
Yeah. So basically, they still got the pistol, PCC, rifle, and shotgun platforms, and it's going to be a mix and match of 2, but it's going to be shotgun and whatever you want. You want to shoot your pistol? Do you have a PCC that's still legal? Amazingly, there's a part of me that wants to go do it with my little not a Glock.
MP7.
Yeah, my little MP7 at home, just to see if they want to call it a PCC or if they want to call if there is, I don't know if there's going to be like any like distance penalties for shooting a PCC versus a pistol, but I will sit there and argue that it is a pistol that is just inside a brace, and that I should be allowed to shoot it as a pistol, not as a PCC.
You know what thing is they're gonna get you? Can you put it in a holster?
Well, I mean, if I take it out of the thing, I can.
Okay, so now they're going to tell you, okay, start the stage with it in your holster, and then you have to put it in the chassis.
No.
If I was the match director, that's exactly what I would do if you were trying to do that.
Too.
You could, but here's the loophole. I have missed every single holster course that has been given, all 2 of them. There's another one supposed to come up in June. But the 2 holster courses that have been done this year that let me use a holster for this, for this competition style, because I don't have my black badge. And so hey Dave, they do expect you to have either their holster course or a black badge to be able to use a holster. So either way, whether or not
check you out that morning.
Done deal. You can't shoot a pistol because you can't holster a gun.
Of course I can.
I actually just thought, if it was at my match, I just tell you if it's shoulderable, it's not a pistol.
But
it's either way.
Well, no, but I mean, I've shot lots of matches with them. It's just,
Yeah.
the gun starts from the table, right? Like,
Yeah.
and
Well, then it's not a pistol.
what it is.
Well,
What do you mean? If I have to shoot a match and put the pistol on the table and start with it there because I haven't gotten the special license that lets me use a holster for this particular shooting discipline because I wasn't in the country, I can still shoot that match with a pistol. It just starts from the table.
Yeah.
Whether or not that pistol has a frame around it that has a stock is completely immaterial to the fact that it is, in fact, on the registration certificate, a Glock 17 pistol.
See, right now, you have to go.
I know, right?
Yeah, you have to.
You have to go and let us know.
We have to find out.
I know what, as a match director, I know what I would say, but I'm interested to see what they say. But on the 2x4, go ahead, Dave.
As a match director, I would say you don't have your holster qualification. That's okay because holster qualifications are retarded.
Yes.
Well, yes.
And stupid.
Yes.
So you have to start with.
If we have to have a holster qualification, you will draw with an empty chamber. So you will insert the magazine without drawing the handgun. You will draw, rack, and fire because the gun is not loaded at that point, and you cannot shoot yourself. It is impossible. We don't have holster qualifications at the ORA, so all we do is you draw with an empty chamber. I don't care if you've never touched a handgun before in your life. You can't shoot yourself.
We take people aside if they're brand new. No, I'm brand new to competition shooting and everything. Okay, so we have somebody take them to the safety area in the morning, run through stuff, and get them to draw a couple times, have a look. Hey, are you safe? Are you not? Okay, that's going to determine whether we're going to let you draw with a loaded gun or not from there. But I was more talking about the chassis side of things. And I would tell you, if it's shouldered, it's not it's
a right. Well, in America, that's also true too, right? Yeah. Like the rules are a little different down there.
But on the 2x4 thing, I think I've seen one or two like this, and my dad was big. This is the one he wanted to see. Was instead of the PCC, it's a precision rifle.
Oh.
So you have your pistol, shotgun, your burner 300-yard in rifle, but then we're going to stretch you out a mile, and now you got your precision rifle that you pick up on a stage or something.
That could be fun. We're allowed to mix and match the whole day. I've actually been tempted to bring my 1022 and maybe there's a match where I want to do my MP7 at home. Maybe there's a match where I want to do my 1022 because it's a laser beam and runs pretty well most of the time.
I don't like jams. I
don't either, and the reason I don't want to do it is because I don't have any holsters for any mag holders for the 1022 mags. So
you can print them.
I could. Everything else on my belt is 3D printed, so I probably should. I don't know. I'm tempted to go. I agree. I just want to I'm going to rant for just a second about holster qualifications because they are in fact stupid. But I also do understand where they come from. Not everybody practices at home with holster every weekend. I do. I really do, because the day I ever actually need to draw a gun from a holster, don't want to shoot myself. Don't want to shoot myself, and don't want to shoot myself when I put the gun back. Lots of practice, but they don't know that. And the last one, I was heartbroken because I was coming back from California the day the holster qualification was going on, and I asked, I was like, are you local? Can I bring a case of beer to your house? Can we just do this? I'm an adult. I have been using a holster for a whole bunch of my life at this point. I just need you to sign the piece of paper that says I'm safe. And he's like, try again in June.
Same thing in my club. They do holster qual once a year. I can never make it because I'm always out at the range or booked somewhere else when they have it. But the other thing that they do is you can just show up and shoot a match. So I'm like, okay. And then that's your holster qualification. So I'm like, okay, fine.
That should be adequate. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, as much as I've complained about the politics of my range, a giant reason why I will never give up my membership is that they do actually treat you like an adult there. It's the only range in the Lower Mainland that you don't need a holster qualification for to have your gun in a holster. You can do guns in holsters, guns slung over your front, and that's okay while you're on the property. There are still some rules, but that's okay. And as far as I know, every other range I've been to in the Lower Mainland, there's holster qualifications at minimum, and most of them, moving guns from range to range requires a case.
Yes, which is another stupid rule.
It's a stupid rule, but
it is. So at one of the gun clubs I used to shoot at around here, the ranges are back to back. So there's literally a berm between the ranges.
Yeah.
And the CFO came to a match and people were walking from stage 1 to stage 2 with their handguns. CFO, apparently inspector, had a freaking meltdown, threatened to shut down the range and get everybody charged.
Oh, geez.
Because now you're transporting, and you're transporting it legally because you're transporting in a holster. It's not locked up. It's not in a case, not in a transparent case with a trigger lock and blah, blah, blah.
But
Is
you're
the
on
whole
the
facility
range.
not the whole range?
No.
Yeah.
No. So it's range 1, range 2. As you are walking between them, there is a space apparently where there's a berm, and the space on the berm is not considered. So you're unsafe because you're violating federal law by transporting. So they decided that, fine, when we have matches, you have to bring your case and you have to put it in your case and then walk to the table that's literally 5 feet away. Go, boop.
So that's idiotic. I will also say that for all the holster qualification stuff, the really funny part about it is that I can actually have my gun in my holster the whole day. The only time that my pistol is not allowed to be in the holster is when I start the stage. I have shot tons of matches this way. Nobody has any problem with me having my gun on my belt all day, and my other
loaded
guns
versus not loaded, right?
Yes, I understand that, but nonetheless, I still think that the minutia and the silliness of it is kind of, it's there. Anyway, that was my only little gun thing. You guys are right. I probably should go.
Well, there's no probably. You should go.
You should
I know
go.
I should go.
And if nothing else, like I said, tell them you're just going to insert magazine. You will draw, rack, and fire, because that is an unloaded gun. I mean, by law, it's loaded because there's a magazine in it. Yeah. But there's no way that the gun can possibly go off because it's not loaded.
No. I mean, again, everybody that I've shot with this group, they're all fantastic. It's more just like, this is the rule here. We must abide by the rule here, because these matches bounce around from a couple of different ranges, like Chilliwack Mission and stuff. So I think some of it's just actually playing by their rules, and all of those ranges have a holster qualification. So I'm probably going to get one in June, and you probably talked me into going and shooting this match because it would be good for me. It means I have to go to the range this weekend and make sure everything works.
Yep.
So that's a thought. All right, Tony, what about you? What'd you do in guns?
Well, you can see I'm out of town, so I didn't do a whole lot in guns, but I did do something. I'll give a shout out to a old gentleman called Chris. He sold me this pristine condition, 3rd edition. They're on the 11th now. Hornady reloading manual.
Nice.
Because I'm holding the microphone today, I will probably be showing it more when I'm in Calgary. But
you're just collecting old reloading manuals at this point.
I don't know.
Like a thing.
It's a little weird. Again, as I said in previous episodes, I really didn't have a fascination of reading when I was younger, but I guess I do have a fascination of collecting old reloading manual now.
That's cool.
Well, they're also not too expensive. I believe there's still a price sticker in there. I forgot what's the store, but I don't know if the store still exists these days. It was $22.95 at the time of purchase, which is probably late 80s, maybe early 90s. And I got 10% off of that in today's economy. So I think I made a killing. Yeah, and we had a friendly chat. It was election time. I picked it up the day after. Unfortunately, his Langley riding was blue, so that's all good. But that was even a closer race. So,
dude, I love picking up gun stuff from folks that have collected it for 40 plus years. I think I told you about my amazing purchase of 41 Action Express. like
oh yeah,
ammunition that hasn't been manufactured since 1989 with little handwritten $25 price stickers on every box. And he's like, yeah, $25 a box. Like, you paid $25 a box for these in 1990.
the interest rate, you got to calculate it.
Oh, there's a couple of rare ammo websites. This is the one bit of ammo that if I can move stateside, I will go through the headache of importing with me because it is valuable. Last time I checked,
Just shoot it all.
it's between $5 and $6 a round.
I know,
Yeah,
but you
so
can.
338.
It'll probably be a lot easier to bring over the cases. That's probably no problem.
I will go through the headache.
It's not a problem importing it.
It's
No,
not a
really
problem
not a
bringing
big
ammo
deal.
into the States. Just throw it on your Form 6. It's done.
Yeah,
Yes.
Form 6, right? It's not
Yeah.
that bad. I don't.
Which
remember.
that's the other thing I did. Oh my god, how did I not talk about that? I
you
did
thought
submit
about
my
that.
Form 6.
There you
yeah.
go. That's a
So-
much better option than what you were talking about.
I know, way easier. I sent that away, so okay. Anyway, Tony, did you do anything else?
Last time I did mine, it took like 2 weeks, and I got it back. So
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm
pretty
anticipating.
quick.
I don't need it right away, and I think you guys were 100% right for me to travel with guns while I'm down there, and that's just more sense. So, yep.
That was entirely Kyle's credit, not mine.
Yeah, but well, I'm saying anyway. Tony, do you got any more you did in guns, or should we shift to?
I believe I don't know if the viewer have figured out what new shotgun I've got. I believe it is done, and the owner of it is gonna move soon. So it's like, I don't want you to carry an extra long stick, in case you don't have to. So I might go pick it up after I go back to Calgary. I might have him deliver it to a match that we are gonna shoot a different day, but we'll see.
You get
If
that
you
thing as
see-
soon as you can.
What, in case it's banned?
Just
Well-
because it's a new gun. Get it as soon as you can.
That means I have to make time for range day.
Oh, I have something else too.
Oh, that's terrible.
Let's go to Kyle then.
No, I
that's
can wait.
all I have. Yep, that's all I have.
Well, Dave hasn't talked yet. Well, he has, but not about what he's done.
That's awful, Tony. How would you? Why would you buy an extra gun when it would just force you to go to the range and endure that terrible pain?
Yeah, I have to plan it out. I'm not an ad hoc range goer these days.
Same with me. I got to take my stuff to work and then go after work because I'm an hour and a bit away from the range at home. So.
Feel that. All right, Dave, what'd you do in guns this week?
Ah.
I got a
Oh.
KDEX Strike, a Nuke Evo stock from a Remington 700.
Oh,
Nice.
that's
Yeah.
pretty.
I like it,
Awesome
and,
mags looks good.
I got 6 mags.
Heck
All
yeah.
plastics. Did
I'm
you
like-
try to switch it up a little bit?
What's that?
Did you try to switch it up a little bit, metal versus plastic?
No, I just got the MDT plastic mags
Nice.
because whatever plastic. I've got nothing against
Should have won
plastic
Magpul.
mags. The
Should have won
vast,
Magpul.
vast majority of the magazines I own are plastic. So they had MDT magazines that are the same color as the stock. They're olive green. So I just said screw it. So the reason I got this stock, which is very sexy, thank you, Scott, for when I was talking to him about stocks and I'm debating if getting an MDT or a KDEX or what I'm going to get. He's like, I always like these ones. So I went and looked. I'm like, yeah, I like that one too. So I ordered it. They're not
Nice.
bad. They're like $750, I think it was. Then the mags are like $50 each. And then I bought a rail for it. I don't know why I bought a rail for it, but I have a rail for no reason. So I'll throw a rail on back behind my bipod, I guess. And then I bought a Magpul bipod mount because the stock doesn't have one. It's all M-Lock, so I'll just throw the M-Lock mag bipod mount on. And
You
then
didn't
I
go
bought,
not Picatinny. You didn't go Arca Swiss.
because I already spent too much money on this. So. and I have a shitty whatever the hell that bipod
I was gonna
is
say
that
you probably have a
everybody has,
lot
like
of
a
stuff that's
Harris or
already
something.
The
picked
Harris,
rail.
yeah.
I have like a Harris bipod from
Oh, okay.
2009 when I bought my Remington 700, and it works just fine.
Yeah, well, the
So,
Harris bipods are good. Yeah.
yeah, well, whatever. They're not fancy. They don't
So many springs.
they don't
I'm not a fan.
cant, and they work fine. So I may go with an Arca rail and then buy a fancy bipod down the road. But this was already expensive, and the bipod mount was $35, and I can use my existing bipod.
Nice.
And I also bought a Trigger Tech
Ooh.
primary for it. I didn't go with the fancy Trigger Tech because I looked at all the different stuff, and I'm like, this one's adjustable. It seems pretty good. It's a flat trigger, which I've never tried. We'll see how it is.
I'm
I
disappointed,
gotta say,
Dave.
I'm not a fan of adjustable triggers.
No?
Maybe it's the Savage Accu trigger that's drilling the fear into me. It's like it's skipping or something. I don't know. This time around, when I shot it, it didn't change too much, but even when it's set, it still varies from like slightly under 3 pounds to like slightly over 4 pounds, which is like percentage.
Yeah, so you just gotta get an aftermarket trigger and put it in there.
Yeah.
Fair.
I didn't hear any issues from anybody with a Trigger Tech about the weight creeping around. They seem pretty decent from what I've read. So
just give me the lightest weight. I don't care. I don't want to adjust it. Just set it. Forget it.
I'm probably gonna leave it set at like 4 pounds.
Oh, really?
Too
maybe
heavy.
a little lighter than that. I use this for a hunting rifle, and I carry it around the woods too.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
fair.
don't.
1
I
ounce. 1 ounce.
I might be doing rundowns with it as well, loaded.
Yeah.
So I don't particularly want that. Even 4 pounds is a bit light for that. But whatever. This one goes down to 1.5 pounds. It's not one of those real hair trigger techs. So you can take like way down, because I have zero interest in having a really, really, really touchy trigger, because I do movie stuff with my gun, and sometimes I'm loaded. So I'd rather have a little bit of. I don't have my finger on the trigger anyway, but I don't want to bump my gun on a barricade and have it go off. Would be bad.
That's always my fear too. I don't like super light triggers on anything for that exact reason.
My ARs, I always ran stock triggers in them, so they're like 5.5 pounds, and that is absolutely fine. I'm fine with that. So I don't like hair triggers. I understand why guys have them on like long range rifles where you're just literally sitting on a mountain shooting them. But I want to have something I can drag around with me. And honestly, for precision, a 1.5 to 4 pound trigger to me is fine. I don't have any objections, as long as the break is nice and clean, and these Trigger Techs are apparently quite nice from what I've heard.
Yeah. So this is the trigger.
Oh.
What is the trigger?
I
don't know what that is.
Is that a Timony?
That's a Remington 700. The purple was back when this was as prototype, but this one is 8 ounces.
Oh my God! No, thank you.
It is adjustable, but I left it at 8 ounces.
Wow. So you touch it, it goes off.
Yeah.
That scares me. Rod actually is the one that drilled that out of me, like Giltaca, like quickly when I was like getting into really like kind of modding and customizing, my guns. She's like, you should really consider, running like more stock parts, especially triggers in your thing, for a couple of reasons. Just like you'll build a baseline for the manual of arms better if you encounter just like stock things, and you're less likely to have an ND. And I'm like, that's fair. Those are both.
Oh yeah, like when I was coyote hunting with that, I wouldn't have one in the chamber until I got seated in a stand, and then the safety was on, because but I just couldn't bring myself to adjust it from 8 ounces because that was just so nice.
That would be just rest your finger and
yeah.
That's too light. I'm not comfortable.
I would love to try one.
Oh yeah, I would not intentionally put that on a hunting gun, but it was just I couldn't bring myself to adjust it, so I was like, okay, how am I going to do this and feel comfortable? Okay, that's how I'm going to do it.
Yeah, if you're just sitting in a stand, I guess. But even that, for me, that's a little light when you get all excited about things and you get your finger on the trigger. I like something I can bring up a little bit, or even just I just like to feel that. I've always run. This isn't a 2-stage. That being said, my current Remington trigger isn't a 2-stage either. It's a pull it and goes bang. But my semi-auto rifles, they're all 2 stages. I like to feel it, bring it up, and then feel that little. There we go. And
Yeah.
bang.
Yeah, if I was building a PRS, I think I would want a 2-stage.
Yeah.
But
So the reason I got this stock, and I think I've probably mentioned it on the show, is because I absolutely detest the box magazines on Remington 700s. They are hot trash. They're terrible.
they're not
And
great.
Nope.
my main problem with them is when you're bombing rounds into the mag, if you don't put it square in and push it down, and you happen to put it a little too far in, it goes into that notch in the receiver where the bolt head rides, where the locking lug rides, and then you can't get it out. And you got to flip the gun over and shake it to get the stupid thing out, because you can't dig it out with your fingers because you don't have room with your stupid scope on it, and it sucks. And in competition, so many times I have tossed a round in, and rather than like single feeding it, I've put it a little too far in. It goes boop, and then the timer's going, and I'm flipping my rifle over and shaking it to get the stupid thing out when I figure out what happened. So, box mags, yes.
Smart.
So I'm so freaking excited. Plus, that thing has a 4-round magazine, which is ridiculous. This is 10 rounds of 308 fun. So, I'm very
Didn't get a
excited about that,
5-round mag for your hunting application, eh?
because I don't have to.
Don't need it.
I can run a
Plus,
10 rounder in Ontario.
It's just
if
a
I
little
want.
bit more slimlined.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
Sticking out.
more bullets,
gun is-
more fun.
Gun is freaking huge anyway. So that being said, when I am hunting, I generally do just bomb up 5 rounds, because I don't need 10 rounds of 308 or 303, which is what I normally run. So I just normally put 5 rounds in, and then I have a couple 10-round mags sitting in my backpack in case I need them. I can grab them quick and throw them in the gun. If I
Since
need
you
10 rounds to
mentioned-
shoot a deer, that's a lot.
It's not the deer that I'm concerned about. It is always the cougar that is around while I'm carrying the deer back. That's where my big concern is.
Stop carrying it through your local country bar.
That's where I went wrong.
Yeah, that is a concern. I mean, when I was out hunting last year and I had a pack of wolves decide to take a little tour through the area I was in, when I was by myself with nobody around me for kilometers around, and a whole pack of wolves went through, I grabbed the extra mags out of my backpack real quick when I saw them.
You did not
freaking
destroy
coming.
them all.
They didn't bother me.
No.
It was pretty cool, though, because normally never see them. And I heard them, and I thought it was somebody out just dogging and pushing through the bush. And then I realized that's not a human. That's wolves. And I could hear them all around where I was. And then one of them went by me about 50 feet. He must have known I was there. But he trotted by like 50 feet away from me at the edge of the woods. That was really cool. That was a big doggy. Big doggy.
I don't think there is a bag limit for wolves in Alberta. So Tony would have left nothing standing. Anyway, I started blasting.
Anyway,
We have wolf for dinner.
I didn't have a wolf tag, but I had no reason to shoot the wolf anyway. It wasn't bothering me, and I wasn't making mittens.
It was good target practice, live target.
My folks there was a wolf problem when they were still living out on the one island there. They had a wolf problem for a while, and they are a nuisance animal, so getting a tag for them is not hard. I did go hunting for them the once because like my grandma encountered it, and she was very glad that she was close to a gun that day. But after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna come out and go wolf hunting. Wolf tried to pull a Little Red Riding Hood. We can't have that. But I didn't find it. But my one real scare, I had the one scare with a grizzly when I was doing videography work up in the north, but that was scary. But my one other incident, well, I guess I had 2 incidents with a cougar, one that I had to shoot and one that I didn't see, but I was hunting a deer, and like a particular deer, and like I had to move to get a good position, and I scared it so that it ran, and then I went hiking after it, and I'm following its tracks. And this like nice wooded clearing, big tall grass. I'm like, okay, there's tracks. And then what are those? Oh, those are big kitty tracks. And then big flat area, lots of blood, and then drag marks. And I'm like, and we are backing away very quickly, and we are putting the bigger magazine in the semi-auto. This is when I was still hunting with the BCL. and it's like crank
You
that.
didn't go get your deer back. That's not
No,
cool.
no, I didn't want any part of that, but I was like, yeah, that was one of those days where a semi-auto was the thing I was even though I didn't need it, I was thankful I had it that day. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Check this out. So this is really cool. I've never actually seen one of these stocks before, but it's
aluminum bedding.
aluminum
Ooh.
netting. So it's got a whole block in here, and this thing is solid. Like I'm used to like slightly maybe not so more flexible stocks. You know, you can grab them from end to end and twist the stock a bit. You cannot twist this thing. It is like holding a steel bar. It is so solid. Like even the forend, like there is absolutely no move in this piece of equipment. Like nothing. It's incredible.
They make such sexy,
Yeah.
such sexy receivers, or not
It
receivers, chassis.
it is freaking hot. Like look at that aluminum block.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like right in there. Like the fit and finish on this thing is absolutely flawless. I'm so impressed with it.
Have you put your receiver in there yet?
I haven't. No, I got to
No.
disassemble the rifle and then
New trigger and
get it
everything
in here.
as well.
Yeah, new trigger and everything. But trigger comes out when you disassemble the thing anyway. It's got a removable trigger guard. It's got M-lock out the yin yang, one on either side for I don't know, lights, lasers. I don't know what you put on that. And then it's got
All of the above.
all of the above. And then it's got a rail the full length of the foregrip in front of the magwell. It's got a nice beveled magwell here.
Nice.
It's very nice. Like there's nothing sharp on this. Like even like along the top of where am I going? There I am. Even along the top here, like everything is rounded. Everything is perfect. Like beautiful angles along the rail. So they've really cut down the material, and it's quite attractive too. Just the the way it looks.
Well, yeah, it looks subdued. It doesn't look like your standard chassis.
No, it's quite nice, like a stealth chassis. Looks like it's kind of traditional sort of look to it, but great big trigger guards, so no issue using gloves if you're using it as a dual use for hunting. It came with a spacer. I don't know if I'll need it or not. I'll have to wait till I get the stock on. It's got another one of these little spacers, and it's got.
I like that adjustable riser.
Yeah, it goes up and
oh wow.
They said 1.5 inches. It seems like more than that to me.
Yeah, that is quite a bit. Does that like tension? Can you like lock it halfway or?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's got a little
okay.
tension wheel on it.
Okay.
And it's good positive. Like it's not going to come loose. So yeah, there's halfway.
Nice.
So yeah, you can adjust it to whatever height you want. And yeah, I really like it. It's got a really aggressive pistol grip on it. The pistol grip has soft rubbery grips, and it's really fat. And it's kind of, I don't know if you can see it, but it's fat right in the middle where your palm rests.
So do they sell different grips? Because those look like they're removable, that you could get like custom grips made or something.
Yeah, it's got bolts on either side of it.
Cool.
So I'm pretty sure those will just come out if you wanted something bigger. I don't know if they make anything, but they're at least swappable. So if they wear out, you can buy a new pair and replace them. The trigger guard group and the magwell, that's removable as well. They just got bolted in right now.
Yeah.
But that's all removable. So you can swap that out if you break something.
Nice.
Just a pin and a spring holding the mag release. The mag release is steel as well. It's got a steel pin, steel spring in there, and it goes right up into the aluminum. So it's a bit sticky. Like you got to bang the mag right now to get it in.
That'll probably wear. I was gonna say that'll probably wear in with time, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there. Yeah, you sort of have to put the mag in and then pull it to the rear, just bang the back of it. But yeah, it's brand new. So
yeah, dude, that's nice.
It's really sexy. I'm actually really excited because I hate that freaking. I like the gun. The gun is ridiculously accurate. It's the most accurate, other than my 22. It's the most accurate center fire I've ever owned. I fired like a 1/3 of an inch group with it one time.
Wow.
I haven't been able to do that since, but I did do that with some match ammo that it really liked. And it's a little clover leaf. It's one hole with little dimples on the sides of it. It was really awesome. But I hate the magazine, and I just put a new scope on it last year, and it's a really fat, tall, the hell is it? It's a Nikon X1000 black. It's a nice scope, but unfortunately, it's also a very tall scope, and it has very tall scope rings. So now I can't get a proper cheek rest on the Choate, like Choate. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's a fancy stock for 2009 that came with it, but it is adjustable nothing, which I hate. So all stocks should be adjustable.
Yeah.
So now I have adjustable.
Cool.
And then I bought, and this was all from Red Deer Shooting Center. They had like the everything. And then when I got looking at them, like, you know what? I want a bit fatter bolt handle, and I don't want a steel bolt handle anymore. I want a plastic one. And Red Deer Shooting Center had something for that.
Yeah.
So they had these Kinetic Research Group. It's their Bolt Lift SV olive drab. So it's an olive drab bolt handle lift. And it is a removable one specifically, or permanent, specifically for the Remington 700. So it's a little bit fatter, but not too fat, because I didn't want those ridiculous ones. It's the size of a VW Bug. So yeah, this one's a little big. It's a little bit bigger than the default handle, and it's nice and grippy and stuff, and it's plastic. And it comes with a screw, so it's a little shell with 2 little pins on it, and then this has 2 little holes, and it clamshells together like that. And then it's got a bolt that goes through it and locks down, and then you figure out which O-rings work better, and you put the O-rings in between the shell and the bolt.
Nice.
Like that bolt handle, and then you just put it together.
I have to say, I'm a firm believer in metal touch points. Like I live in negative 30-degree weather, and I have a metal shifter on my car.
Yeah.
And I don't wear gloves when driving. So, yeah.
It's a pretty cool day when you start that thing up, I imagine.
It's not too bad. Well, if I just shift very quickly, then my hand doesn't have to stay in contact with it for too long.
I think this will be good. It's got metal posts that hold it together, and then the metal screws. So I don't imagine. It's pretty tough. I don't think it's gonna.
Nah, it's not a durability thing. It's just a hand feel thing. For me personally,
Gotcha.
I really don't have anything against plastic. Like all the Magpul products are great.
I was gonna say you push Magpul pretty hard to.
Yeah, exactly. It's just some of the. It's just Tony's weird thing. It's just some of the touch points have to be solid billet metal for some reason.
Interesting.
Okay.
That's fair.
And not me. So I'm very excited. I'm going to put it together.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take a
I can't wait to see it together.
We should plan like one of our shows. Just do like a bolt gun show. You know, bring our favorite bolty. I mean, it's all we're going to be allowed to talk about soon enough, so we might as well start enjoying it.
So I gotta get down building and getting the chassis for mine and get that barrel swapped.
Bolt gun, we have a comment on Twitch. Mondak WX. I have an old gun question. Is anyone familiar with the 303 British? I found a few Winchester Super Speed 303 British casing with a metal detecting. I'm wondering, Mondak, are you from the U.S.? Because
yes, he's in Montana.
Okay, that's why. So
he's like, what is this strange thing?
Yeah, I'd say we're probably all pretty familiar with 303 British.
Yeah, so
anybody not own
one? I don't. I actually don't own one.
I don't own one anymore. I did have one.
Go away, Tony.
I mean, does it count?
I'm sorry. I want a Ross, but I can't find a Ross for an okay price.
Find an old Lee
I was going to say you
Enfield.
can find them.
Yes, we could. You want to pay for them?
Gotta be straight pull.
Buy a Lee Enfield, dude.
Yeah,
I just gotta be straight pull.
You don't even have to get a good Lee Enfield
because it's more Canadian.
To like, no, you know what is the most Canadian thing in the world is a sporterized Lee Enfield. Like that is quintessential Canadiana. Everybody's got one. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't. I have a full military, and that's what.
So we had two.
Wow.
One was kept original, and one was sporterized with the scope and everything. And yeah,
it wasn't important enough to me. So like they were still around and available when I was in my 20s, and I was really getting into guns. You could still get them. And you could still get them for like not like crackhead prices, but they weren't cheap. And it's a gun I'd maybe shoot once a year. And I was also operating with limited space, so I was like, no, we get one of these, and we'll get the shorter, cheaper, sporterized one. And it was mostly just to say I had it, right?
Can we handle
But,
guns tonight?
Tyrell.
Oh, can we handle guns tonight? Yes.
Yeah, we're not on YouTube.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
not on YouTube.
Yeah. So Tyrell, yeah, we're I'd say we're somewhat familiar with that. What's your question on that round?
Okay, so let me try to answer this question, and you guys can double check my homework. So 303 British is, in my opinion, the equivalent of the British Empire's 30-06.
Yeah,
It
man.
was commonly used in World War I and World War II as
And
a standard
before.
issue round.
And
And
before.
Yep.
And way after.
For example, the Lee Enfield, the later Enfield number 4, number 5, the Canadian Ross rifle, because at the time we were a part of the Empire. The Lewis gun, for example, is also chambered in 303. I believe there
Yes.
were Maxim
They were-
machine guns chambered
Yes.
in 303 as well.
Yep.
So yeah, the common rifle, full power rifle round for the British Empire until basically the 308 was introduced to NATO, I believe.
And
Yeah.
the 303 as well has taken, I would say, has taken more game, certainly in Canada, probably in Africa as well, than any other round other than the 22.
I was gonna say, mostly here. I'm supposed to post this. Mostly just how common they
Mondak,
are.
follow up. Mostly just how common they are or were. Probably not that common in the States.
Yeah,
They're
not common in the States at
mostly
all.
No.
import guns, but you're in Montana, so maybe there's some Canadian foreign hunters that came down. Was a Lee Enfield, unlikely a Ross.
I
something
have
like that.
an action here that I didn't hear you list off, Tony, which was impressive because that was quite the list you listed off. But
What?
Yeah, even the
Machine
Maxim.
gun.
so I have the barrel and action. It's missing the stock and the butt stock.
Huh.
But Martini Henry
Oh,
in-
Not know Martini
in 303
Henry's
British.
cable
You know,
303.
oh,
I saw there were
dude.
like 5
the old
7
falling
7s.
block.
Falling block Martini Henry. That's great.
So that's a conversion, or that's
No, it was
originally
made.
303?
It was made for the Brits. I did a little bit of research, and my memory is fuzzy, but I know somewhere it still has like British proof stamps on here.
That is cool. It will have a
Dude.
crown on it, probably.
Yeah, like there is a bunch of old marks on this barrel that yeah, but I believe it was the Israelis were making them in 303 British for British military way
That makes
back when this it's a Citadel 1804. So
Wow.
or
That's
19
cool.
18 19
So the original
1904. I was going to say 1804. That's
Wow,
what
seems a
it,
little
1904.
That's cool.
originally
I-
developed in 1888, and it was a black powder. I
Yeah.
had some
Oh, wow, I
303
did not know that.
cartridges from World War One that were cordite, and we
Oh, yeah,
fired
yeah.
them and
Uh-huh.
it worked. But you took them apart, and it's like, whoa, what the hell is this? It looks like spaghetti, but it's propellant. So that was
Are
kinda
they not
cool.
corrosive?
Oh yeah.
cordite?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it should be.
so.
I don't know
Or was
if
it
the
still
cordite
just the
is, but
primers?
Primers certainly are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, they were corrosive AF. So yeah,
Yeah.
clean the guns after those. But we fired a whole bunch of them. See, when I grew up, World War II ammo was still readily available. We used to get 30-06 U.S. military surplus for like, I don't even know, 10 cents a round or 25 cents a round or
Golly.
something. We used to buy cases of the stuff and then go fire it. That's why I had $1,000, because ammo was so cheap.
Uh-huh.
So we bought $1,000 and then used to buy cases of 30-06 U.S.
Could have
military
bought a
surplus.
BAR. Well, I guess at that time it's
Nah,
probably
you
already
couldn't get
illegal.
PAR. Nah, they
You
were
can still
prohibited, but-
commonly find the 303 on shelves in Canada, can't you?
Yep.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I know
Canadian
like for a
Tire.
while
Canadian
it
Tire,
was so
literally, yeah.
rare to find it in the States, and
Yeah.
like that's the thing. It was never a big thing in the States, but yeah, you can still walk down to Canadian Tire or Walmart and find it on the shelf for a reasonable price.
That
Or
reminded
maybe
me.
that might have changed, but
The reasonable-ish price you can
well,
still
as reasonable as ammo is right now.
Yeah, right. Like you know,
Two-
as
$250 a shot, I think. For
Yeah.
ammo.
Okay,
It's-
yeah,
it's
it's
not-
gone up
it-
a bit, and yeah.
it's not in the 10 cents a round days anymore. But I was gonna say the one other cartridge that's probably taken all of the living things is the 7.62x39 cartridge, courtesy of there being more SKSs in this country than people. Like, like
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
I'd be actually interested in a study. The most like readily available cartridge in the world, I'd have to say, is probably
That's gotta be
7.62.
39.
39.
Well,
Yeah.
no.
well, but that's the thing, though, because like,
Be
Because
yes,
it's like a lot of AKs, that's what they're chambered in, right?
Would it be
Like,
though? Yeah,
the
the
AK-47 was
has far-reached influences. Like
Well,
They use 22 as well.
well, but I was also
From
going to say,
Russia.
don't a lot of their AKs, aren't they not 7.62 by 39, but help me out here.
545.
545. Thank
that's
you.
well, that's the
That's 74 though.
yeah, that's the
after-
AK-74.
Okay, yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking like most what was
Well, nowadays
nowadays
there's
it
a
would be
lot
that,
like,
but-
or especially down in the States, there's a lot being done with 223. Not, but I mean, like your AK-47 platform, I was pretty sure was 7.62 by 39. So I
Yeah,
mean, like,
I would.
you want to talk about a
Still
gun
make
that's the most produced gun
Yeah,
in the
it's-
world.
Well,
it's
it
all
depends
over
on how
Africa.
you-
It's in South America. It's in parts of Asia. You're not wrong. That probably is up there for like the most common, readily available cartridge.
I think it depends on how you measure the metric. Like, is it the most produced? Is it the most shot? Or is it something else? For example,
Most commonly available.
I didn't
So if you
know...
look it up, there are 500 million guns in the world approximately, and 100 million of them are
Are
AKs.
Okay.
3/4 of that are AK-47s chambered in
There's-
37,
no, hang on.
So
39.
yeah,
Wait, 500 million guns in the world? There's got to be more than that.
It might be by now.
There's got to be more than that. It's like America has 400 million guns. Just America has more guns than people, and Canada we've got to be closing in on 100 million guns. There's got to be 100 million guns.
You think
here.
there's 100 million in Canada?
All right, so
there's
I don't think so.
fun statistic. No, hang on a second. Fun
There were 20
statistic.
million in the
Okay.
90s.
We do know that the average Canadian gun owner owns 5+ firearms. So from that we can
Really?
yes.
That's kind of insane
it's,
to me.
It's actually higher than that, but I used that just for ease. But so just say 5+ is a good baseline, average Canadian gun owner, right? So if there's 2 million of us, that's 10 million guns guaranteed for sure.
Okay.
And
go ahead. Continue.
no,
Sorry.
go ahead. What were you gonna
I
say?
just did a quick search, and according to Google, there is an estimated over 1 billion firearms in the world.
Oh, wow.
The vast majority, about 85%, are civilian hands.
Yeah, as they should be.
So
That's where-
is this saying estimating a small arms survey estimates 857 million firearms in civilian hands. And then the one before that said that estimated around 75 million to 100 million AK-47s.
One for every 60 people on Earth.
So
And
10%
question
of the
is-
firearms in the world.
AK-47s, yeah.
And the
Probably
question is, if there's one for every 60 people on Earth, how do we get
How
them
do you
into the
aim-
hands of the
yeah,
other 59?
other 59.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Dustin knows that,
That
one.
is a great quote.
I love that.
I love that movie.
Oh,
I also
so good.
it's so good. I also love like if you freeze frame all of the like again gun movie nerd just for a second because we don't have a topic. So if you freeze frame during when they're like walking through those warehouses of guns,
Yep.
they're all VZ58s. Yeah, they're all VZ58s. They're not AK-47s. Although like
Well,
the background
The
gun,
VZ-58 is
That's
more
funny.
available and cheaper than AK-47.
yeah, in
In
large
Canada,
quantities.
anyway.
That. They were all
Yeah.
functional in that movie too. That movie would not have gotten made in North America the way it got made. But anyway, all right. Well, moving on for a moment. Let's just clear up the essentials since we're an hour in.
I still have things I did.
Oh, you still okay? Keep
Yeah, we
going.
got distracted there on fun things. I also went to an Appleseed in the States and hung out with Stacy and Bill and Bolivar and Jason Gallen, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I saw those
Which
pictures.
state did you go?
Michigan. So I went and
Mm.
shot a Maple Seed Clinic. So we went down on Friday, shot cool gun, shot AR-15, shot not prohibited handguns,
Not
shot
prohibited
people's
handguns.
carry handguns.
Yes, they're little short barrels.
Yeah, and I will say that I can't remember the model of it, but there's a friend of theirs has a tiny pink Ruger, and I can't remember what model it is. I forgot how god awful unpleasant subcompact handguns are to shoot. My God, they're terrible.
9mm or 380?
9mm.
9mm.
Okay, well that's why they're
Man.
no, dude, they're a delight to shoot if they're in 380. Like
Oh,
if they're
yeah.
in 380
Yeah,
and it's the
380
right
is
gun,
nice.
that's so much fun. But yeah, 9
I
mil.
carry 45 because I only need to shoot once.
All right.
Uh,
My no, I should. All right, you brought it up, not my fault. So I have a couple of friends down in Virginia that I go and visit. They're gay couple. One of them's ex-military, into guns, lots of guns, and the other one's interested in guns, definitely like gun curious, just doesn't own
That's
one yet.
good.
And the one who is like, no, like wants him to get a goddamn carry in 45, and I'm like, no,
Oh
that's
God,
not
no.
allowed to
No,
happen.
no.
Under no circumstances is that allowed to happen. That shouldn't be your carry gun at all. You weigh 120 pounds. You're 5'4". That is not allowed.
Get
That's
a-
not
get a-
smart.
get a
That's like
1911.
saying I want to. That's like saying if I move to the States, I want to carry a officer 1911 in 45. That doesn't mean my kid should carry a 45 19. No. That's wrong. Everyone have their own gun. That's how it should be. Like varieties.
I used to like 45, but with modern bullet composition and the fact that you can have 20 rounds in the gun, if the guy doesn't go down when you shoot him with the first 14, you put the other 3 in him and he's going down.
It's very
Like, 9 mil
application
with modern
specific, right?
constructions.
I think if you have a officer 1911, your round count doesn't change if you have a 45 or a 9 mil. So you might as well have the bigger caliber.
Adriel,
Adriel all the way,
Yeah,
says
yeah,
Adriel.
sure.
No, Adriel.
I
No
thought I'm
Mulatto.
supposed to carry a 50 Action Express.
You're not in the FBI. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, pretty much. Right. Well, even the FBI switched to 9 mil by now. So like,
Because it's funny that I will watch people like arguing so vehemently online about 45 versus 9 mil, and Europe is laughing and killing each other with 32 autos for the last 120 years. Like, come on. Like, smaller handguns work fine, especially for carry.
On the statistics, that 22 kills more people in America than anything else.
Probably. There's so
They
many
will
little
kill you
carry
dead.
guns in 22. Like,
Yeah.
22 at close range is super lethal.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
but-
I've seen
Or
what
you
it
didn't
does to
get
a small
The
game. I don't
correct
wanna be
treatment
one.
in time and you just bled out.
that
Also
equals
effective.
super lethal. Like,
Well, you might not be dead on the spot, but you're dead.
if it kills you, it's lethal.
I think if I was carrying, probably a 9.
Some
I'm
might
a
even say
pretty big
fatal.
guy. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm a big guy. I
There
can
you
carry
go.
9,
Fatal.
but I ain't carrying one of those subcompact 9s because they're
Oh, they
they're
suck to
unpleasant.
shoot.
Oh
Yeah,
my
right.
god, they're so narrow.
Yeah.
I fired it and it just dug right in. I know maybe I'm a sissy with my little girl hands. I don't know, but it is an unpleasant gun to shoot and not terribly accurate. But it's a carry handgun, so I mean you're probably
Well,
using it at 2 feet. So,
Not accurate because you can't get a grip on the gun. Like
No.
well,
that's
your sight
my
radius
problem
is
is that it's
Yeah.
just
Nowhere
so
to go.
it's so short. Like you have to grip it so solid to actually shoot accurately with it.
yeah.
Like that's
Well,
why I just don't like this gun anymore.
I couldn't change the mag because
Because you're,
You keep pinching your finger.
well, my hands covered the end of the mag well, so I hit the button to drop the mag, and the mag goes boop into my fingers. I'm like, oh, no, that's not effective. So for me, it's not the right gun. Like a mid-frame 9 mil would be better for me because I have big, stupid meat hooks.
I don't. I can handle, like, I know when I finally get down there for real, it'll be a SIG 365 and 380. I have played with a lot of them, a lot of different
In
flavors.
380,
carry guns. Yes. Yeah, I want the 380 one. Mostly, again, just coming down to that gun, that will be the close range self-defense thing. And 380 out of that platform, no muzzle rise at all. It is unbelievable. It's like shooting a staple gun. It's just boom, 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 boom. There's no flip.
Really?
It's great. I've shot that gun in both 9 and 380. 380 all the way. And it's what I tell anybody that's smaller or got like smaller hands. I can do execute a mag change with that one because I don't have big hands.
You're talking the 365, not like the
365.
macro or XL.
Yes, yeah. This. Oh, I mean, look fancy, but definitely not functional.
Well, it functions. It's just it takes work to shoot accurately.
Yeah. I mean, to each their own.
Yep.
But we won't have
Yeah,
carry
there's so
guns up
much
here.
variety in the firearm space.
Oh, there is.
You get
Oh,
any
it's
color
ridiculous
you
how many
want,
guns there are.
most caliber you want, any shape you want. Pick the one that's your favorite. Make sure you train, and
I think
Mhm.
that's the trick. I mean,
Get proficient
if
with
I
it.
shot that little carry gun a whole pile, I could probably actually figure out proper
But the
grip
thing
and
is, are you
everything.
going
But
to
it's
enjoy
so
shooting it
tiny.
enough that you're going to do
So was it the thinness that you didn't like, Dave?
It was the thinness and the size of it. It was for me. It was just too small a gun. Like I said, I have big
I was gonna
hands.
say
I
you
can
could do this, which
you know,
is
looks
all the
fatter.
thickness.
So that's a Glock 26. Yeah.
No,
No?
this is a XD9 subcompact.
the Springfield?
Yeah.
Looks a little fatter.
Oh, it is like it's
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
Wow.
like it is
Okay.
full thickness.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and
No.
it's still.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can get extendo mags for it, but this one actually, I was actually surprised. It wasn't too bad to shoot. Like the trigger actually feels pretty decent on it. It wasn't bad to shoot at all. I expected it to be horrible, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Cool. Nice. What else did I get to shoot? Shot AR-15s, which was cool. Shot binary trigger AR-15s, which are very cool.
Oh,
Double prohibited device. Jesus.
very
You might
fun.
as well put a suppressor on it. Why not?
And
actually,
shot
triple.
Shot
a
Have
scar. Shot a
standard
scar heavy with a
magazine, too.
suppressor. So, yeah, scar heavy with a suppressor. 308. Very cool.
nice.
And then shot a Styrog.
Ah, yes. That was
Also
the
prohibited.
Shot the
Stormtrooper rod.
Stormtrooper Styrog. Yeah, I shot that one. So it's a weird gun, and it gets like really hot, like right where you're holding it. So I'm like, I
Interesting.
can't
Does it
even
have a
imagine
grip?
firing one of these things in full auto. Well, I don't like the thing, so I was just holding the front. But yeah, it gets like really hot. But it's fun to shoot. It's weird. Like the controls are weird. You have to get used to where the controls are. It's a little strange, but it's a bullpup, right?
Yeah.
But it's a fun little gun to shoot. 25 yards. It was just boom 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 on little plate, so it was fine. So that was fun. And then did the maple seed. So that was Friday, and then we set up the match for the next day, and then went home and had food and hung out with cool people. It was awesome. And then we shot the maple seed, and I don't have the targets here. I left them at work, but I was
Apple seed,
super
maple
happy.
seed?
Apple seed. I was super happy with the way I shot. Like I had a stoppage on my first AQT, the qualifier test, but I actually cleared most of the targets. The first target of the day you shoot. Damn it, I should have the targets here. You shoot a scaled target, so it's a simulated 16-inch target at 100 yards. So
Right.
it's that big, and you shoot that, and then you've got a 200, 300, and 100 yard, or 400 yard, and the 400 yard is like little tiny guy, and then you have a shingle, which is basically a headshot at 250 yards, so it's pretty small. And the story behind that is that during the Revolutionary War, there was a dude named Captain Morgan, no relation. We asked, he was not a pirate. And if you wanted to be a member of his marksmanship troop, basically you had to show up at his farm and with a single cold bore shot from your musket, hit that thing at 250 yards, and it was a bucket. So if you could hit it, you were a member of Morgan's men, and if you weren't, then he would give you a drink and send you home.
Send you
with
on your way.
snakes. Yeah, send you on your way. But so I missed that one, but then I thought about it afterwards. I went, wait a minute, no, apple seed and maple seed considers a 22 shot. You have to have 30 cal rule. So if it was a 30 cal bullet, I actually would have nicked the edge of the target. So I did actually clear the target in the morning. So I got all my shots on. I've never done that before. And then did really well on all the exercises. It was a lot of fun. There were a lot of fairly new shooters there, so it was really cool watching people's marksmanship get better during the day. And I was shooting with Bolivar and Bill and Jason Gale, and like really good shooters. So we were sort of off at our end and just got mostly ignored for the day because we know what we're doing, and we're just shooting like quarter size holes in the targets most of the day. And I shot really consistently. I bought SK match, high velocity match ammo.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
the match ammo is more accurate than the high velocity, but I couldn't find the match in bulk, unfortunately. So I just, whatever, I bought the SK high velocity. Yeah, it's good. It'll shoot a quarter at 25 yards, like pretty easily. And so I shot that all weekend, which was great. And yeah, I shot really, really well, like super, super consistently. I had a stoppage on my first qualifier, which is why I didn't get it. But I looked at my groups afterwards, and I'm like, no, if I had have actually gotten all my rounds off, I would have qualified easily on it. And I qualified on all, other than that ones, I had two that I had stoppages, so I didn't even score them or qualify on those. But all of the other ones I shot, I got at least 220. Which usually I'm inconsistent. I'll bounce between like 190 and 220-ish and everywhere in between, but I'm not consistent. And this one, all of my targets were 220 and up. I shot a 231, which was my best one of the weekend, just under my best score ever, which is 234. And then I ran out of ammo, so one of the guys felt sorry for the Americans, so he, Canadian, so he had brought a brand new national match AR-15 that he'd built. And it was freaking sweet. Had a beautiful Leopold optic on it. Had all the upgraded bits on it. It was a really nice rifle. He put 13 rounds through it before I got it, and I shot back-to-back 222s with it, and then didn't get the Morgan's target on the last red coat. I know what I did. I jerked the trigger, but I cleared the rest of the target with it. And it's a great rifle. And that was just with stock white box ammo.
Nice.
So he brought ammo as well, and I asked him if he wanted anything for the ammo, and he said, "I would like a smile and a handshake." I'm like, I can do that. Yeah, great setup. Nice guy. Guy's name's Dave. So thank you, Dave. That was fantastic. And he's another Dave. So I mean, you can never go wrong with a Dave. So that was a fantastic weekend. It's a hell of an event, and it was the food was great, and hanging out with awesome people that I don't get to see too often was great. And people asked if Brian and I were a couple, which I thought was lovely.
That's adorable.
So, isn't it?
That is.
I guess we're maybe a little comfortable with each other. I'm not sure. We were sitting on the tailgate of a truck, and I guess we were pretty close. So questions were asked. So
yeah, well, I mean, two Canadians come down, happen to both be real good with rifles, sitting real close together. What happens in America stays in America, Dave. I won't judge you guys.
I'm not going to say anything.
I encourage all kinds of curiosity.
Of course you do. So I thought that was a lot of fun, and yeah, it was a great weekend, best weekend I've had in a very, very long time. So came back and texted them as we got across the border and said we have left Freedomville, sadly.
Is that right? Does it, I don't know if that hits the same. I feel personally, like, people give me shit about this, I feel so much more comfortable and happy down there, like for real. And I always feel this sense of like longing when I cross the border. I'm like, okay, I'm back now.
I think it's because we're horribly persecuted here, and I can't take my private property out of my house. And I go down there, and people are like, "Yeah, go in the garage. The AR-15's hanging on the wall. Just throw her in the truck, and we'll go shooting."
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's baffling, right?
You got a handgun handy? And they're like, "Of course I do. Here you go."
Yeah, when I was stopping in a resting area in Michigan, and there's just this cowboy hat wearing older gentleman with a Glock on his hip. I was like,
nice.
Hell yeah.
I've realized that every state in our for our summer trip is an open carry state, and
good.
That might happen.
I don't see too many people. Oh, well, you are gonna do it. I'm saying I don't see a lot of people doing it.
I don't see anybody doing it. I've only seen a couple, but I don't see people open carry.
The odds that I open carry in a large area with people is very, very low. But the odds that I execute my ability to do that, I looked at the laws. I'm allowed, as long as you can lawfully possess a firearm in that state, and I would be lawfully possessing that firearm, then I can legally carry that firearm openly. And there's a couple of states where that might happen.
Yeah, Nevada is open carry only.
Except for certain places. There's places that are like you're not allowed to open carry anywhere on the strip or anything like that.
Yeah.
City ordinance.
Yeah.
And then Arizona's conceal, permitless carry.
Nice.
New Mexico is open carry or unloaded concealed.
Yep.
Colorado,
Unloaded as in no
actually, I'm not
chamber or no
familiar with-
mag.
Colorado is an open
They're-
carry state still, and their mag capacity restrictions 15 rounds means like the Glock 19 mags legal there,
Yeah.
which is great.
So to answer your question, Dave, they don't say. So
It just says unloaded, but they don't.
yeah,
define
they
unloaded.
don't define unloaded. So you kind of got to be a little careful. But I carry empty chamber.
Yeah, that's
That's
reasonable.
reasonable. Yeah.
So you grab that gun and pull the trigger, it will not go bang.
Is that a safety thing? Or...
No, it's a New Mexico thing.
Or what did they give a rationale behind it? I'd be interested.
It's
in
a blue
rationale.
state, so be lucky that we have permitless unloaded concealed carry.
Hi, Mog.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
they've
I
Texas
like,
is permitless, and
I like the states very much. I mean, I know people like shit on the states and stuff and healthcare and blah blah blah, but I don't know. Like most of the Americans I know have jobs, have healthcare, seem very healthy, very happy people, generally speaking. So I don't think they're as different as we think they are up here.
Most of the Americans I know, I like a lot more than the Canadians that I know, and not all the Canadians. I like some of the Canadians that I know, but again, my weird little like gay rainbow flag waving circle, I much prefer my American redneck brethren. Folks that can be gay and also like guns and like trucks, and there's a few of them up here too, but they're fewer and farther between.
Why would you not be able to be gay and like trucks and stuff? So just because you wouldn't fit into the stereotype that's acceptable by the other
It's I mean, it's
LGBTQ alphabet people, or
anything that has a hint of redneckery is painted with conservative and is painted with orange man and is painted with bad. And like I literally had a group chat today. I got to circle back after we're done. Literally had somebody like not call me a Nazi, but we're like by
Wait,
implication.
what?
Yeah, and
because you don't fit into the box that they think you should.
yeah, man. And
much.
That seems judgmental and bigoted, but that's just me.
oh, they're only they're tolerant. They're the tolerant bunch as long as you believe what they believe.
only as long as you toe the party line, and
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point of exhaustion with it. So
Yeah.
The most tolerant people out there.
and there's I don't know, I've got a really cool group of folks on the other side of the border. I'm like, you're like, oh, most of you guys are maybe an hour away from me, and there's just this pain in the ass that is between the two of us that I really do need to rectify. So yeah.
I never understood why. I mean, I understand it. It's tribalism, right? So you
It
want to
is.
belong to the group, you have to fit into the group. But it's like some black conservative commentators in the States that like get all the hate because you're black, but you're conservative, and that shouldn't be a thing.
Like,
why not?
It's silliness, right?
People are people, and why must it be that you and I should get along so awfully?
I don't even know if I'm conservative. I still consider myself a centrist. Like Adriel keeps saying I'm the most conservative person he knows, and that's probably true, but that's only because the world's gone so crazy.
It's true. I'm libertarian. I'm
the thing, though.
extreme right wing. Like I'm way right wing because I am not a Nazi, but I am libertarian.
Yeah.
But I'm also sane enough to realize and self-aware enough to realize that libertarianism doesn't work.
No.
So,
I mean, I used to subscribe to that doctrine as well, certainly when I was young, and I still think along those lines. I think government should be small, functional, and stay the hell out of everybody's business except for where they absolutely must. And that makes you a crazy person. So
I know, which is weird, right?
Yeah.
That's, to me, politics is so pick and choose.
Well,
I don't know. I like guns. I don't care if ladies want to have their abortions or not. It's not my thing to decide. Like, it's not my body. So, like, you go decide for yourself. Like, that's not of my business.
But Tony, the problem is that things have been decided for you on what issues are in what camp, And if you don't support all of these issues, or God forbid you support one of these issues, well, you're not allowed in this camp, and you're the enemy.
So you're just an alien at that
must be
point.
destroyed.
It's called othering, and so the idea is you become dehumanized so that it is easier for people to attack you and say shitty things to you, like what was said to me. I'm used to it. I know I'm a bit of a contrarian, and I tend to poke the bear sometimes. I only have so much energy for it these days, so I don't do it very much, and I have been known to be a bit abrasive. Great, call me just a little bit snippy from the last decade of being individually targeted was stupid, and but yeah, I don't know. It's getting worse and worse where this tribalism thing, people will go out of their way to ignore verifiable facts in the name of maintaining status within the tribe, right? So like this is how that argument happened. It was like we were talking about Carney, two very, very basic demonstrable points. Carney was elected the bank, or was put in charge of the Bank of Canada like 3 months before the housing crash, and he left his Bank of England position just before Brexit. And so, and I argued, it was like, okay, because this person was saying, well, Carney, pulled us through the housing crash in 08 and was responsible for why, the UK came through Brexit. And I'm like, well, those are verifiably untrue statements. Here is how time works. You cannot have a cause that like proceeds like you can't have a
What's
cause
the thing?
that
Like balance the budget. It's like the budget is already.
No, he was
No,
there a
no,
decade
it's just,
later.
like it was like the whole idea, like to take credit for why Canada didn't experience the housing crash, or the policies that were involved in Canada not experiencing the housing crash in 08 is silly, because those policies were established a decade before he took power in that position. He cannot take credit for that because like the action occurred a decade before he was in charge, and likewise he can't take credit for a country coming out of this big thing when he has left his position before the country has come out of the thing. But just those two verifiable facts turned into a mudslinging and insult thing, and no actual recognition of, okay, no, the two things that you said are demonstrably true. And that becomes the issue, right? And then the second that you sling around that N-word, then all of a sudden you're the worst thing in the world, dehumanized. So it's okay to say whatever and completely disregard anything you say, whether or not it's verifiably true, because you're bad. And as division has gotten worse and worse, especially politically, it's just gotten to the point where we are like 500 yards away from each other, waving big signs and yelling at each other, and we can't even hear each other anymore. Anyway, not to get political. Should we deal with the upcoming events and news real quick?
Yeah, we should probably move along a little bit.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to Trevor you guys there.
No, that's okay. Trevor's not here. He can't hurt you right now.
He is, however, real.
He is real. I don't know. Does he still listen? Only sometimes. Upcoming events.
We said his name 3 times, so
Uh-oh.
he'll be listening to this tomorrow, and I'll get an angry text message from him.
Hopefully. I should call him and hang up. Well, we got Kelly and Adriel usually read the Maple Seeds for the next 30 days, so that's not happening. There are probably a lot of Maple Seeds starting to come up. Hunting Gear Guy, well, April 26th, 27th one is gone. You want to talk about BTSA Steel Challenge on the 24th, Tony?
So that will be almost next month. Steel Challenge weekend match, May 24th. Registration on Practice Score. Buffalo Target Shooters Association.
Sweet. Ontario Rifle Association events calendar is up on OntarioRifleAssociation.ca. That includes 1,000-yard practices, 200 to 500 yards on Sunday, May 4th. Oh, that's gone. That's gone. Sorry, I'm reading the teleprompter in real time. ORA plinking on Sunday, canceled due to range work. Watch the calendar. Events are moving around for the month of May. You want to talk?
You're muted.
I am muted. A couple of one of the ranges at Borden is undergoing backstop remediation right now for May, which is good. Get it out of the way before the summer season hits and the weather's nice. But it does mean that a bunch of our events are being shuffled around. So my Sunday plinking day is gone. We'll try and book it later in the year. So if you're an ORA member and you're looking for events in May, make sure you check the calendar. Match directors will be sending out emails and communications if something moves or changes. I'm still good to go on Saturday, though. So if you're coming out to the Saturday plinking event, the short range, we are good to go.
Cool. SPFGA Rimfire Madness, June 28th to 29th on PraxiScore.
Yep. So if you
Sherwood
want to
Park.
meet
Sherwood Park,
yep. Shore Park Fish and Game near Edmonton. If you want to meet Adriel or if you want to meet me for some reason that I don't understand, you can see us there.
If you're coming, make like a huge deal out of meeting Tony. Like, run up to him and
Yeah.
oh my god, I'm
That's the
so
way to do it.
excited.
You know, I had my first
That would be so
listener meet me when I did the CCFR table at that gun show last month, and it was
Nice.
it was kind of fun.
It's neat, isn't it?
It is. It's
Your
like,
Canadian Firearms podcast famous, which is almost as much as winning a Juno.
Oh. All
I
right.
was at once in a while I'll be at something.
I'll be
And
honest,
I'll be-
I actually never. Oh, sorry, I cut you off,
Oh, no.
Dave.
Go ahead.
I actually haven't had one of those. People I knew before joining the podcast, but I don't think I've actually had one of those. Like, hey, I know you from the podcast.
I've had a few of them where I'll be standing around somewhere at a gun thing, of course, like a gun store or at a shooting range, and I'll be talking to somebody. People will be like, "You sound really familiar, but I don't know why." Like, I know why.
Yeah. Well,
It's fun.
It is fun. This show's mostly listened to more than watched. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, most people listen to it, so they wouldn't recognize us to see us, but they might recognize us if they heard our dulcet tones.
This is fair.
Yeah.
This is fair. 3-gun matches. 3gun.ca, Peace River 2-day this weekend. I don't know if that's even true anymore.
Yeah, no, I'll talk on that.
Okay.
So they actually changed it to a 2-day in case what happened.
Right.
So Peace River's doing it. 2-day match. Basically, as far as I know, bring what you have. And it's going to be, it's Peace River. It's going to be a good time. Interesting thing, Steve-O's been posting some stuff up. He definitely took some stuff home from Superstition and is putting it in the match. Like, it's going to be a 1 in the A or down 0 or 2 anywhere, which I've been fighting him for years to do, and he's doing it. But yeah, he's put together a bunch of stuff from Superstition, some ideas on target layout, stage layout, all sorts. I also believe they're doing a work shoot squad schedule.
Oh.
So when you're shooting, you're shooting. When you're working. So
Nice.
I mean, like I said, Peace River, it's a good time. If you can make it, go to that one. It's gonna be awesome.
Cool. Yeah, go out and shoot guns while we can.
Yeah, and that is this weekend.
That's this coming weekend here, the first weekend of May.
Yeah.
All right. In news, we had an election.
What?
When?
Yeah. Apparently
yeah.
there was one. Yeah.
That thing happened? Huh.
Yeah, she didn't go our way. Last I checked, they're still in
So close, though.
just in a sliver minority still territory, as long as no turncoat NDP really bonus. I've even seen some pundits honestly say that like we could legitimately see an election in another year and a half, and I think that would probably be good for us. We'll see. We'll see how much we can hold on between now and then. Alberta separatism ramping up. It sure is. Nobody's shocked by that. I'm sure America will welcome them with open arms. And but yeah, putting the framework in place to trigger a referendum. Honestly, I sat through Daniel Smith's whole press junket for that. I don't think that any of that is perfectly unreasonable. Like the idea of making it easier for folks to bring, like citizen-led initiatives to the government is a good thing. The government has too much goddamn power, and people have too little say.
Yeah, like I think a couple of the I think the key things is it went from 600,000 signatures to 177,000 signatures. I think what was it? It was 10% of the eligible
voting
voters.
base. So what they did was, it used to require 10% of the entire eligible voter base. They've reduced it to 10% of the number of people who voted in the previous election, which is how it should be.
Yeah.
Like, they took it.
Those are the people who are participating. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. She took. They took a very reasonable, stance on that. And I think that that's great, and we need to see more of that.
Yeah, and then it was also extended from 90 days to 120 days to get those signatures. And I guess they actually trying to pass it right now. It's just passed first reading today or yesterday or something, and getting that pushed through. And it will be as far as I understand, it will be a physical signing, not like an online petition or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
good.
Yeah. So it is definitely ramping up and kind of sort of being spearheaded by the government itself.
I mean, there's an element of it that doesn't shock me. You look at that map, and like everything west of Ontario, apart from like a little bit of Manitoba and like the one seat in northern Saskatchewan, everything's blue, and we have no say.
Alberta, I think, in Calgary.
I know, but they don't count. We're gonna ignore them. Like, yeah. But anyway,
I honestly think, like, long term, it is amazing to me that Canada has actually stayed in one piece as long as it has.
Yeah.
Because the country is so geologically and culturally diverse, and it's run essentially by Toronto and Montreal.
Yeah.
It is too. Yeah, it's too big to be run out of one government, really.
Yes. Honestly, like, all of the provinces, people can debate me on this, all of the provinces have enough population and enough like different income sources and different like, revenue generation to justify being their own countries. Admittedly, that'd mean Quebec would have to actually extract some of their own resources, but that's their problem. For the most part, I hate the top-down hyper federalism. We have all the say, you have none of the power, even though we're 5,000 kilometers from you and have nothing to do with you culturally or like, day-to-day life wise. And it baffles any of my European friends. They come here and they're like, what even is this? Like, this makes no sense.
Yeah. I think that's why the States has, more or less worked out, is because you've got so much state power, and everything that isn't assigned to the feds just goes down to the states automatically, and we're the other way around.
Yes.
And I don't think that works in such a huge country with such a diverse
like the states are almost like treated like nations within the nation.
Yeah. No, that's the whole idea.
Like every state has its own constitution, right?
and state bird.
Yeah. I like the system better. I've had this argument with people many times. I think having more of your rules, because I've had this argument with people over like the abortion thing, right? That's one of the big hot button ones federally down there. And I'm like, honestly, something like that almost makes more sense for them, like personally, like to have at a state level where people have an actual say, right? Where like you have no say what somebody in Washington says if you're in, Southern California, like, whereas you do have a vote and a say that matters more within your state, and that's why those states have rules that people appreciate. Even red states have like people revolting on some of those issues and allowing things to be changed in a way that is difficult on a federal level. And so yeah, I think having like state constitutions and states having more of those like rights for their populace is a better approach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At least you can move somewhere that has rules you approve of more.
Well, and that's
it's hard to move. You shouldn't have to move. You'd have to get a new job and a house. But in Canada, I literally can't say I would like to not have my property stolen, and I'd like to be able to go use it to shoot paper. I'm going to go move to a province where I can. But in Canada, I have zero choice. I can't.
If those were the rules, Alberta would have a much bigger housing problem than it does right now.
Already expensive as is.
It would be so much worse, Tony. It's not even funny. You probably bang up another city just with gun owners.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the news. New gun stuff. Tony, are these videos from you, or do you know anything about these? Usually you do the videos.
but I
You
can't
are-
stream because
Well,
I'm on the
We got,
road.
you know, what, I'm gonna save the YouTube videos for another day. We got.
We're gonna send the YouTube video links to our Discord, but I'm just gonna go through it. The first one is I titled AR, How Low Can We Go? It is from, I believe, TFB Showtime, showing the first production prototype of the High Point AR carbines. So
Oh God.
I
Oh
think
God. Oh.
$500 complete guns is what I remember. Second is the 308 Jackal from PSA. They have been
Ooh, I want that.
this would been on the agenda for a while. So if you want a folding 308 AR thingy in the States, you can have that. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the whole Jackal family just because why fix AR? I don't see a big. Well, I guess people like their stuff folding. I don't care about things folding. So, yeah.
Sorry, this is a folding AR-15.
It's like a 180, but was a lawn stroke system. So it's like
Oh,
a
interesting.
180 AK. So to
Yeah,
speak.
Okay.
they definitely have started to utilize that platform because of its folding capabilities. We've seen a couple of guns come online
Yeah,
on the 180 platform.
Recoil
Interesting.
spring, not buffer springed.
Next,
And the one Dustin is showing is the bigger of the little voodoo. So we saw them at SHOT Show. The 309 is tiny, and they also have is that 5-25?
let me
Was it
look.
The one up is a 5 to
Oh, it's
25.
a 5
by
to
50.
25. Yeah.
Yep.
by
So
50.
it's a bigger of this little voodoos by EOTech.
And then we've
And
got.
how much was it?
Oh,
It
I'm
was
so
like
sorry.
A
2300.
lot.
It was
it's
20.
not cheap.
2,300
cheap.
down from 2,700. $400
That's- yeah.
savings
At Cabela's.
at Cabela's.
Cabela's.
Use our
On-
Cabela's link.
Please use our Cabela's link.
On
Sorry, I'll
sale
put it
today.
back up. There we go.
Yeah.
It is on sale today. Check your local stores.
Nice.
Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can share the next one. I'm not very good at this.
You're doing
Do
great.
the whole
Doing
do
great,
the whole
Dustin.
window. Yeah.
Everybody thinks you're doing a great job.
Do the whole window. What do you?
I think
I-
one is for sharing tabs, one is for sharing the whole browser window. So you can.
I'm
choose
just
between the
clicking
two.
present and sharing screen. So
Yep, that's fine.
there you go. It's that screen's vertical for me though. It might be why it's showing it weird.
No, that's fine. And lastly, we have the Beretta.
Yeah,
Beretta BRX in country. Check your local gun
Oh.
store for the best prices. I believe Dante have a good price on it. Available in multiple calibers: short action, long action, magnum action, 308, 30-06, and 300 Win Mag. It is, I believe, a better gun than the Savage Impulse, for example. A cheaper version or cheaper competitor to the Blazer is the RA newer? I think the RA is newer.
I've held the Blazer. I would not spend money on that.
This is very European.
I do not like the Blazer rifle. A Blazer
Really?
shotgun, absolutely, but their rifle,
Interesting.
absolutely. I would not spend money on that.
Why? Can you
I
give us
did
a
not
limited
like the
review?
feel of it. It's got one of those stupid hinging trigger guards for takedown, I think. Like there was so much that I did not like with it, but
This looks kind of fun, Tony.
yeah. Well, Tony didn't put this
Oh,
on
you didn't.
there.
I did not. Yeah.
I put this on
me.
there. So VR dry fire is actually becoming a thing.
Interesting.
So this company, Ace, whatever, send the link here.
Yes.
But so
Ace
they actually
XR.
they have like I think the program. They actually have the simulator, but then they sell like the gun grips. So they have.
Oh,
Like
and
the
then you can throw
they have
your,
320,
yeah, so
Staccato
320.
HDP4, the Staccato P2011, and but then there's guys 3D printing their own custom holders for them.
Good, yeah.
So I've been seeing people do it, and there was an article in USPSA magazine. I kind of looked at it, and it kind of looks legit. Like it actually could help you out
Interesting.
and make dry fire more fun.
See, I was
That's-
looking at doing something like that, 3D printing like a shadow, but I've got the I've got the what the hell headset do I have? I have the high-end one.
Ooh, it's expensive
Vive?
though.
Yeah, I have an HTC Vive Pro too.
Like,
See, I never did look at the.
oh wait, that's the club membership. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
I wanted to look at what the Quest like. Well, oh wait, they'll sell you a Quest
$649.
bundle.
The
Yeah,
Quest
so
is
it's
like
not
$400.
it's not the
Not
VR
expensive.
headset itself.
I just want to know what the actual like.
It is there. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
headset. That's the whole
Yeah,
thing.
so $650 you get the headset, a gun, well, basically a
Custom.
blue gun,
Yeah.
and then your 1-year Ace membership.
Okay, so you have to still have a club membership for a year to use this. I don't know if I love that. Like, let me just buy the game. $14 a month for something I'm going to use not that much.
Subscriptions these days, Dustin.
I know, and I
There's no
hate
way
it.
around
Absolutely, I
Yeah, I
hate
hate
the
it too.
subscriptions. I don't know if there's a thing that you can do with it where you just lose some functionality of it if you don't get the subscription.
Because I am all for spending $20 to $30 on a VR game. I will do that one time.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Remember, BMW was trying to sell us subscription-based heated seats.
yeah,
Well, they can eat a big
Yeah.
bag of dicks. People just hack it if they know what they're doing, because
Yeah.
that is bullshit.
all nonsense.
That's
Yeah.
where the society is moving.
I thought it
don't
was
agree with
interesting.
I hate it so much.
And
It is
figured
cool.
I would throw
it's
it in
kinda-
there to.
That is
That's
cool.
super cool.
That's kind of my biggest issue was VR gun games. Like you're holding onto a controller. That feels so like that's not
Yeah.
a gun grip. It's not the same thing.
The angle of all of it. So, like, here, hang on, because I've got mine. Like, right here. So the angle of
Let me
this
grab mine. Hold on.
is such a challenge when you're doing anything gun related, because you have to actually really kind of cant it more than is comfortable. Like most pistols, you're going to be like here, but that's not quite right. When you're playing the game, you can't hold it like this because the gun is going to be aiming there. So you end up with this like unnatural angle that hurts after a while. It's not.
Well, and you're not gripping like what what you would be using. So
these ones at least stay on my hand. This is the index, so like that's not something you can get a break every once in a while. It's the angle that you have to fight with all the time that I hate.
I find the same with mine. I have to. So I actually, when I'm playing Pistol Whip, which is friggin' amazing,
so much fun.
God, it's fun. I tend to actually hold it like a real pistol, so I actually hold my thumb out and kind of try and get that grip on it. But you're right, you have to hold that at a weird angle, and it doesn't work.
But that's
so
the thing.
I was actually thinking, if I can take this apart and actually put the trigger bit into my AR-15 lower, because I got a ton of lowers, so maybe I can actually take the electronics and figure out how to put them in the lower with just a spring to return it, and I can actually use my AR when I'm using the game.
Dave is a pro hacker,
dude. So if anybody hasn't played Pistol Whip in VR, it is a fun game. It's also every day is leg day. Just be aware of that. Like going in, every day is leg day when you play. I have never played a session of Pistol Whip that didn't end in me being the sweatiest, grossest I've ever been, and with the complete lack of ability to go up a flight of stairs for the next day. Like that's.
I almost passed out one time when I was playing it because I ended up playing for like 45 minutes, and I was so into it. I wasn't drinking. I didn't take my headset off, and my battery finally died on my headset. I pulled the battery off and like staggered over to my chair and collapsed because, oh my God, I was so tired. And my t-shirt, I actually wrung it out in the sink. Like I was sweating so much. It was disgusting. The headset was like wet when I pulled it off. I'm surprised nothing shorted out. But it is a fabulous game, and if you've got a couple of people, you can play in party mode against each other. It's so much fun. Yeah, as long as you don't mind getting everybody's sweat on you.
That's the thing. But it is an absolute blast for anybody that has VR. If you don't have Pistol Whip, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, it is. It's actually the second VR game I got. So I got Alex. That was the first one I ever played in VR.
So good.
It was friggin' amazing. And then I found on Humble Bundle, they had like a VR bundle when I first got it, I guess 3 years ago. And it was like $10. And it came with Ragnarok. It came with Pistol Whip, and it came with a couple other games as well, which I don't play. But I played so much Pistol Whip and Ragnarok. And pretty much Pistol Whip's the only one I play anymore because it's just so
It's-
good. It's like they have a John Wick mod too.
Yes,
Like
yes,
that.
they do.
It's so much fun.
So you can like, yeah, it's Beat Saber but with guns on rail, and you're also got the Matrix where you get to dodge. So that's why every day is leg day for anybody wondering, because you're always like,
Yeah, it only counts if a bullet hits you in the head. So all
Yes.
you have to do is dodge far enough. And yeah, I've injured myself a few times, like jumping into walls or ramming my hand into my roof is only 7 feet tall, so I've injured my hands a few times. I have to be careful, but it is so good.
Dave, do you play on Steam? You must play on Steam, yeah.
I do play on
Oh,
Steam. Yeah,
we're gonna have to
friends
like.
on Steam.
Are we friends on Steam?
We are friends on Steam.
Okay,
Oh my
good.
God.
Yeah, we should play Pistol Whip together sometime. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think. Can you play
The
it?
Doomers has already come out. No more real guns, just Steam guns.
I guess there's the answer to the chat from before. We're just VR now.
Yeah, we were joking about that earlier. What we were gonna do.
Well, I wasn't kidding. If anybody wants to, crowdsource a big Save Our Guns project, we could potentially do that. It'd have to be based in Alberta, but or I guess
Gun
preserve
museum
our guns.
/ shooting range / testing facility. Function
Yes.
testing facility.
Well, not even just function testing. Because my tickets for for theatrical purposes would be a great excuse to make video content. Like, no, we're still making video content, so that's what the license says it's for.
Yeah.
Anyway,
because I'm shooting my machine gun.
One day.
Business storage. It's a
boy can
business.
dream,
It's
a
a
boy can dream,
storage.
Dustin.
Make it secure. I bet Terry will sign off on it.
She probably would.
It's safe, so
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still, as the days go by, still putting more eggs in the look at America basket. I guess we'll see. We'll see. Like that
Texas.
it won't be fast. If that happens, there's going to be a year of work I have to do for that company here before they can sponsor me. So that's the one hang up. But that'll be a year of saving and selling everything that I own, so that when I get down there, I can buy everything that I own. Again, everything that I want, including my 454 Kasul Raging Bull, and the other 2 concealed carry guns that I will always have on my person, because
I'm sorry, other concealed carry guns. That statement applies that you're going to carry
No,
the
I'm not-
454
No,
Kasul as a carry
the 454 Kasul will be an open carry gun. That will
Speaking
be
of leg day.
that'll be the only open carry gun I ever probably use, and yes, it will be on my leg. It will be cyberpunked right out. I should paint that my MP7 before I take it to. I'm gonna have to get on that. I haven't painted that project yet. That MP7 is due to be, abused horribly with some bright colored paint and made to look all cyberpunky and fun.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm
Dustin
tangent.
and the robber. Ha! You thought you got my gun. First, good luck not breaking your wrist on it. Second, here's 2 more.
It's more of an accessory. Like, I don't even know if I would keep rounds in it if it was out in the open. Like, that's what the concealed guns are for.
Oh, come on. You just want to go into a bar and do one of those scenes from a movie that, like, put your weapons in the lockup and you're like, here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. And they're like, and the other one, you're like, pulling air out of your pants and stick it in there.
There's all right. So yes is the answer to that question. The short answer. The long answer. I have been on one studio set and one other set in my life that had gun checks, and for one, I was tickled by that and wished I had a gun to insert into either of those. And 2, there's a scene from a movie early aughts Matthew McConaughey movie called Sahara, and Steve Zahn plays this kind of goofy guy, but he's also got all the guns at one point. And there's a scene where they're like, okay, you need to drop all the guns, and he here comes out 2 guns, 2 more guns, drop this gun, drop that gun, and to the point of comical. And I know that I want one day for that to be me, just one day.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
Go through the metal detector and you're like, hold on. I just gotta go back for a minute. Forgot 3.
I hate the metal detector things so much here. Like when you go to events and stuff, they provide no safety. They provide the theater of safety. Again, alty, you know, I dress kind of gothy and alty. A lot of my stuff has lots of metal bits, and like my pants have lots of buckles and random bits. I walk through those things when I go to an event, and they look at me and they're like, just you just keep going. We don't want any of this. And I'm like, I could have anything on me right now. You're not even going to check. They're like, nope, it went off. Go. I'm like, okay, well, that's comforting.
Illusion of safety.
Yeah, man. Anyway, I've rambled long enough. Yeah. Main topic this week was us rambling about gun stuff.
Yay, gun stuff.
Well,
Lots of gun stuff.
While we're still have the, you know, our 6 listeners' ears, I would encourage any of our listeners, you know, we have an email address, and y'all should consider writing in on just some of the things you'd like us to talk about. We've been kind of stuck in a rut for a little bit, and I have some ideas, but you guys have some things you want us to talk about? You want us to talk about our favorite things we would love, you know, you can send us an email at slamfireradio@gmail.com, and there's a significant chance that we will put your topic as the topic instead of us rambling incoherently.
Here's another idea.
Including?
Send us your favorite cool gun story. How you shot your first gun, where you got your first gun, family stories, cool hunting stories. Send us cool stories. And if they're cool stories, and we think they're cool stories, we will read them.
Yes, we will. I love that idea, Dave. That's excellent.
Well, if you send an email, we're
going to read it. Badly, but
Yeah.
we will read it.
Yeah.
Most people
Also,
write badly in our defense. So.
anybody in the shooting world that you think we need to talk to and have on the show?
Yeah.
We aren't in all corners of the shooting world. Can't be. And so I know there are tons of interesting people out there doing stuff that we've never even heard of. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe you're one of them.
Yeah, we would love to hear from you, or we would love to talk to anybody that you're interested in. We love this show, and anybody that listens to this show, you must tolerate us at least. So, you know, give us some ideas for what you'd like to see. I take it there's no listener feedback. Tony,
I did not see any emails. Nope.
Yeah, we kind of read all the YouTube as it went during our live stream. Oh gosh, our 5-hour live stream where folks got to see me get a little tipsy. Okay, moving on. We'll do our sponsor links at some point. We do have a Cabela's link on our website, and we have a Brownells link as well. Please check those out on slamfireradio.com. If you use those links when you do any purchases on Cabela's or Brownells, that helps support the show, and we will talk about your purchases at the end of every couple of months, anonymously, obviously. We won't use your name or anything. We'll just talk about what you bought. Thanks to our supporters on Player and Patreon. If you'd like to support us, you can find us on these platforms. If you want to email the show, again, I said, send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. And does anybody have any shout-outs?
Well, why don't we didn't have any emails, but I know we have YouTube comments.
Oh, we can do the YouTube comments if you want.
Do you have them pulled up, Tony, or do you want me to go through them?
Can you do them since
Yeah.
I'm out of town?
Yeah,
Thanks.
that's why I
Absolutely. I got them pulled up. So
Tony can't intern today.
from 5 days ago on our Building a Gun Toolkit episode, Chris W. says, a few things I bring to the range I have not seen in your bags: Kestrel, rangefinder, chronograph, binos, bug spray, sunscreen, rain boots, de-lead wipes, or at least some kind of Lysol or soap. Absolutely. I think it is important to note we were talking gun toolkits, not range bags on that one. But absolutely, yeah. No, good things to bring to the range. And we got another comment here from Jonathan Benison. It's his handle. Okay. Gersan testing and review. I heard in the other review that it wants a stronger round for some early rounds to, I guess, break in the inertia action. And then it will handle the lighter loads. Yes. Yep. But not as light of loads as I was trying that day. I was trying some just unrealistic light loads that day too that would only work out of like an over under or pump action. So I don't know of any semi that they would have worked under. It was just playing out. But absolutely, even though the manual doesn't say it, yeah, breaking it in, throw a couple boxes of buckshot through it. And then we got Eddie is still sticking on with his. We got our 2 comments from Eddie for episode 602, building a gun toolkit. First one says, Tony, I believe the Browning lever guns have a cam in their system, making the throw shorter. I recall a shooting friend who has a BLR in 308 Win. Of course, he told me about it. And then our last YouTube comment for the night, also from Eddie on episode 602. Kyle, you forgot the battery-operated Dremel in your field gunsmithing kit. Yeah.
Well, he's not Adriel.
Hard to believe Princess Auto is better than Harbor Freight. I keep hearing coworkers raving about buying better stuff down south. Well, at least before COVID and the tariff debacle. They do have good stuff, and they do have some better stuff than Princess Auto, but the selection at Princess Auto is much better for what you can actually buy in that store. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, that is our YouTube comments.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I just didn't have them pulled up, and Tony is mobile today.
I always have them pulled up, so.
Well, in that case, shout outs, anybody?
Yeah, thank you to Brian for being my chauffeur and getting us down into Michigan. It was a lot of fun to travel with you, buddy. We don't hang out enough. We need to hang out more. Apparently, according to some people at the match, we need to hang out a lot more. Just saying. Thanks to Stacy and Bill for putting us up at their house. That was awesome. You guys are the best hosts ever. It's nice to see Autumn again. It was nice to see Sasha, and it was good, I guess, to see Jason. You got mentioned after the dog. And thank you to Dave for the AR loan. I really appreciate it, man. That was awesome.
Cool. Anybody else?
I will give a recommendation to On the Perf podcast was the 2 Adams Maxwell, and the other last name I don't quite remember.
Adam Reiser.
Yep. Sorry, not quite familiar. Adam Maxwell was the YouTube channel's 3-Gun AMAX. If you want more information, talking about a lot of action shooting 3-gun stuff, including action shotgun, which might be the only action shooting available to me. Pistols hopefully will survive for now. Don't want to be too much doom and gloom, but want to stay vigilant.
Indeed. And finally, I would love to give a shout out to Dan Grady. Hi, buddy. He's out on the island, CCFR gun friend, who sent me a cool little not Lego set.
I also have a shout out.
Mhm.
I would like to shout out everyone who joined us Monday night.
Yes.
We had 5-hour live stream. It was a good time. It was tiring. I still felt it at work the next day. But I did not get drunk, thankfully, but just tiredness got me.
I'm sorry that I couldn't make it for that one, guys.
It was good.
I got asked to go scrutineer for the CPC, so I was busy making sure there was no effery going on. So that was fun.
Yeah. But yeah, we had a good number of people watching that live stream. So yeah, thank you to everyone who joined.
Yeah, that was really cool. Anybody willing to listen to us ramble on for 5 hours is wonderful. I can only be so entertaining when I'm drunk, but I wasn't that drunk. I was just a little bit.
You say you weren't white girl wasted.
Oh no. Yeah. All right. Well, with that, I guess let's sign off. Join our Discord server. We've got a Discord. It's cool. Watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Player. Importantly, join the CCFR. More now than ever. We got to fight, guys. We're not done yet. And we will see you next week.
See you next week.
See you next
Good
week.
night, Kelly.
Good night, Kelly.
Good night.